You won't believe what this guy just said.
My biggest problem with Donald Trump is I feel like throughout his political career, he's built it around just degrading, belittling, and insulting anybody who disagrees with him. I strongly believe that a house divided against itself cannot stand, and I think his approach to politics in the United States is making us more divided, and I think in the long term we will see repercussions for that.
Okay, what's the question?
Well, whether or not you agree with that assessment of
No,
that
I
situation.
don't. We won the election, so I mean, like, what is the relevant question, though?
Well, the relevant question is, do you think that that approach to politics and where the stigma is right now is going to be dire in
No, I think
years
it's
coming?
somewhat of a miscategorization. I mean, are there things that he says that I wouldn't say? Is there a style that he employs that I don't employ? You see how I do things. It's not always like that.
Right.
But can you acknowledge he also keeps his promises? That's pretty good, right?
Well, I mean, not necessarily all his property. The war was supposed to end on day one. The war didn't end on day one.
I mean, again, there is some political bravado to some of this stuff, but the border is secure, right?
Well, it's more secure now.
No,
yes.
it's totally secure. We have literally nobody coming across the southern border. I mean, so he in the first term he kept promise after promise after promise after promise, and so I guess what would you prefer? Someone like Donald Trump that has a style you don't like, or someone like George W. Bush that has a style you like and was a terrible, awful, lying president?
Well, it's less. I mean, the style is going to turn into big demonstrations that we see across the country, where it becomes vulgar and it becomes difficult to work with one another. I mean, if you look at you can pick January 6th, or you could pick riots on the left side.
You saw this kid that got punched by a professor here for wearing a Trump hat?
No. But
it's the other side doing it. We're not doing that.
But it's both sides. Well, okay, January 6th is an example of that happening.
Okay, how about
on the
something
right,
within the
also-
last 3
No,
years?
but
Anything within the last 3 years?
within the last 3
You
years
can't name a single example
of
right-wing violence in the last 3 years.
I mean.
We're incredibly peaceful. No, seriously, you can't name an example.
but
I can name Tesla dealerships being burned, death threats every day against Tulsi Gabbard and President Trump. Oh, I don't know, President Trump getting shot on the 13th of July in Butler, Pennsylvania. So I just find it to be just a little bit like outrageous that, like, well, it's Donald Trump dividing the country. I know that he got shot. I know that they want to kill him. And I know that he's been keeping promises. I know that the left is, trying to murder us in the streets and punching our students in the face. And I understand that they're hunting everybody with a Trump supporting hat down. But it's somehow Trump. So, I mean, come on, man.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I think what you're confused
What
about.
are you saying?
That's what I'm about to say. What I think you're confused about is I'm not saying that I'm in support of what's happening on the left. I think the kid that got punched out in front of the Coug, awful situation. I think burning down Teslas, creating violence on the left side, I think that's an awful thing to do. I do agree with that. But I think that Donald Trump, and I mean the President of the United States, ultimately has some form of a responsibility to try to unite people. And I think that the stigma on both sides is just rising up. And I think that's as a result of the leader we have now. And also the final point just on January 6th, just because January 6th happened 4 years ago opposed to 3,